Welcome to your Strategic Edge in Analytics. I'm Shaun Davis, your host. How do we predict what's going to happen in business? By looking at the past, of course. This week, we're stepping into the uncertain, sometimes murky world of predictive analytics. Let's hop into our TARDIS and see what's coming. Okay, quick personal confession. I'm not great at math. I may or may not have failed some of my high school and college math classes. And if someone starts rattling off a string of numbers, my brain just nopes out. Ironically, that's part of what drew me to tech and analytics. I rely on tools to make sense of all those numbers. Now, predictive analytics? It's math heavy. I won't pretend to understand all of the details of the algorithms that make it work. Instead, I focus on what really matters, the ways businesses actually use this tech to make better decisions. Luckily, I work with some seriously smart data scientists who do understand it, and I lean on them to translate raw numbers into real-world insights. So with that said, let's jack into the matrix. Most analytics is about answering one simple question. What happened? And that's important. Understanding the past is the foundation of every good business decision. But predictive analytics takes things further by asking a different question. What's going to happen next? Companies use predictive analytics all the time. In marketing, it helps figure out how many people will sign up for an offer, allowing teams to adjust their resources and get the best results. In finance, it's all about forecasting revenue, looking at past performance and market trends to get a sense of what's coming next month, next quarter, or next year. Sales teams rely on predictive models to estimate the lifetime value of a customer. Not all customers bring in the same revenue over time, so understanding who is likely to spend more helps teams focus their energy where it counts. Operations uses predictive analytics to make sure staffing levels match demand. No one wants to overhire and waste money, but being understaffed can be just as bad. And at the executive level, some companies use these models to guide revenue predictions in earnings reports. Those projections aren't just pulled from thin air. They're based on carefully built predictive models. None of this works without good data. If the data going in is messy, outdated, or unreliable, the predictions coming out are going to be just as bad. It's pretty simple. If you don't trust the data about the past, how can you trust its prediction about the future? Let's talk about uncertainty for a minute. Your car does a form of data science every time you drive it. That miles to empty estimate? It's looking at how much gas is in your tank and using past mileage to predict how far you can go. Estimated time of arrival works the same way, factoring in distance, speed, and traffic conditions to give you an estimate of when you'll get there. But here's the thing, neither of those numbers is ever exact. If your car says you have 30 miles left in the tank, would you push it right to zero? Probably not, because if the prediction is off even a little, you're stranded on the side of the road. Companies face the same challenges with predictive models. The numbers might look precise, but behind every prediction is a mix of assumptions, probabilities, and best guesses. Understanding those assumptions is key. Think about that ETA on your GPS. If it's off by 10 or 15 minutes, does it really matter? Probably not. But if your miles to empty is off by just a few miles, that could be a problem. Businesses have to weigh their tolerance for uncertainty in the same way. Data scientists aren't creating Frankenstein's monster in a lab somewhere, but they are stitching together something just as powerful. What they produce usually falls into a few categories. Sometimes it's a straight-up forecast, predicting future metrics based on past trends. Other times, it's more like a set of recommendations, guidance on what actions to take to grow or optimize a business. They also build prioritization models, ranking customers, projects, or opportunities so that companies know where to focus their efforts. These aren't just theoretical exercises. They're real tools businesses use to make smarter decisions and gain an edge over the competition. Data science, and AI right behind it, open up worlds of possibility. But at the end of the day, none of it works without two key things: high-quality, well-governed data, and a company that understands and accepts uncertainty. When those two things come together, predictive analytics stops just being a fancy mathematical exercise and starts becoming a game changer. Predictive analytics isn't just about seeing into the future. It's about making smarter choices today. That's what really matters. So now, the only real question left is, what's your next move?